And then there's the chat. Chat, chat, chat. Chatty, chat, chat. Oh, sweet. It works. Okay, cool. Called it. Okay, so now let's get Mr. Manly Man on the call here. One moment. There you are. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hang on. Hang on, my mic might not be right. Or my headphones may not be right. Hang on.
No, yeah, take your time. Like, I have the stream going, but I haven't, like, posted it yet or anything, so I'm just making sure everything's working.
Oh, there it goes. I can hear you now.
Oh, good. One moment. Let me close my door. My light here.
I didn't have the wrong headphones selected, I guess. My audio drivers are super weird.
Yeah, I noticed that mine got really weird too after I got like it was the very when I first initially installed Voice Meter and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's because Voice Meter installs two audio drivers, and it's just like messes with the others.
Yeah, it's like you have to like install Voice Meter, then like restart like almost as soon as you install it.
Yeah,
usually that does the trick.
It's a good sacrifice for such a good software.
Yeah, I mean it does good things. It's just when things get messed up, it's like what the hell's going on, and then you figure it out, and it's Voice Meter.
there have been times where I had to uninstall Voice Meter and then reinstall it.
Yeah, same
just
here.
because these headphones that I have, they're the same exact headphones as you have, or you may have different pair of headphones now, but I can't plug them directly into my computer because videos don't work when I do that.
Really?
Yeah, it's just videos. No video plays.
Weird. Huh.
So, but if I plug it into a USB, or it's called hub, it works. So I don't know what it is, but I found a solution, so I'm just sticking with it.
Hey, that works.
I've been using this solution since I got the headphones. So
yeah.
Definitely.
I think I might have had some weirdness like that too. Now that I think about it.
I don't know if it's the headphones or if it's just my computer.
Yeah, that's always like the worst part. It's like, which is it? Like, what is like screwed up right now? I don't know.
Yeah, but if you can't fix the problem, just find a solution that works around it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I ended up doing today with this hockey game thing. It was.
Oh yeah, you said you used Voice Meter.
Yeah, I ended up using Voice Meter. It was a combination of Voice Meter, a laptop, a DSLR camera, and then like two like really janky like sets of headphones. Like, but they had like mics in them, so like they were like commentating like the whole like game and everything. It ended up working out, like, but it was a super janky stream. It was not like I'm not gonna look back on it and be like, man, like that was a good looking stream, but you know it worked, so whatever.
Well, hey, if it worked, it worked.
Exactly.
So was it a real hockey game or was it like a
it was game? It was UNLV. It was college hockey, so it was UNLV versus Colorado. UNLV won. It was 3-2. Hockey games are super fun to watch, like in person.
Yeah, I've been to a hockey game with a few friends, and they were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I suck at talking and replying to messages.
All good.
Hang on, just gotta reply to this message real quick.
Can you hear my music, by the way?
I cannot.
You can't? Okay.
No.
Because I have music playing in the stream.
Okay.
For people to just kind of have as the background.
How many people are you got watching?
Oh, I don't know. Just in case somebody like decides to hop on. Let's do this. And let me see. How did I do that before? I think it was this thing. Yeah, I figured out how to do this thing on a stream where it basically grabs the information from Spotify, like whatever you have playing, and then it will just like you can have it display like whatever song's playing on the screen, and it changes automatically as you change songs. It's pretty rad.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
For OBS or Voicemeeter?
It's kind of like a little side program that you use in conjunction with OBS. So it's called, what the heck was it called?
I really wish it was called that.
What the heck is it called?
What the heck is it called? What the heck is it called? The software. That's actually really good because it shows what the song is playing. It's called. So
yeah.
What the heck is it called.com.
That'd be brilliant, actually.
That needs to be a thing.
Yeah, it does. Where did
If anyone ever makes it, I get a quarter out of it every time it's said.
Right. Oh gosh. Okay, so speaking of which, I should get that.
Do you listen to Asking Alexandria, or do you know them?
It sounds really familiar. I'm really bad at recognizing like names of things and stuff, though. So.
Back in 2009 and 10 or whatever, they were one of your typical super skinny all black emo metal bands. And now they're like, I don't know, they've changed. I know I could say that they've changed for the better in my opinion.
Oh,
like
cool.
if you compare a song of theirs from like 7 years ago to now, they look nothing like they did back then.
Oh, awesome.
Like the singer looks like he belongs in a country band now.
What?
But he is
quite the drastic change.
Yeah, like he had long black hair that covered his eyes, but now he's got short hair and a full beard. But I don't know what he did to his voice, but I love his voice now. He sounds amazing.
Oh, he like totally sings different now too.
He does. Like he used to be almost nothing but screamo, but when he did clean singing, he was one of the very high pitched singers.
Oh, gotcha.
But his voice is lower now.
Huh. Weird.
But oh my god! Like if you ever get a chance, listen to Asking Alexandria "Into the Fire." That's their newest song.
Fire. Okay, cool.
It's such a good song.
I will be sure to do just that.
Like their last album wasn't bad, but they had a new singer for that. And this new album, they have their old singer that they've had for the longest time. And this may be the first album I actually get from them.
Nice.
Just because like I've liked a few of their songs, but they've never been like, I want to get that album kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But this album, if the other songs sound somewhere like this, I'll get it.
Nice.
It's just super good. It is like they're definitely going through the whole fan thing where like, you've changed, I don't like it anymore.
Change, man.
Yeah. But I mean, I always say like if a band was making the same thing, they'd get bored and quit.
Exactly.
A band has to evolve and age. I mean, look at Trivium. They used to be almost nothing but screamo, but now they're almost nothing but cleans. And I prefer the guys' cleans, actually.
Interesting.
So
okay, so I scheduled. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just scheduled the stream link to go out at 6:05. So let me actually give you the link in case you wanted to share it.
All right.
I am going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to send this to you in Discord. There that is.
All right. I shall share it.
And I'll share this on my server as well, because I'm going to self-promote myself.
I've been addicted to Mountain Dew Kickstarter lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just like it's become a thing that I need to pick me up in the morning.
Oh yeah.
It's good though. I mean, it I know it's an energy drink, but it doesn't have as much of an energy drink does. It's like healthier kind of. Well, no soda's healthy, but
Cool.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Going live with NeroTheHerome.
Oh yeah.
LoDown podcast at 7:05 EST. Could have said like 10 minutes, but whatever. All right, there we go. All right, I'll reply to this message. I'm sorry, I'm kind of replying to messages before I go on. I'm just talking to my
No, it's all good.
Haven't been able to talk to him in a while.
I expect this to not be like a smooth thing at all, just because I've never done a whole live streaming podcast. Well, I mean, actually, no, I take that back. I do it like every freaking week for Charge Shot, because we do it. We do a live stream now for our patrons, so they get it early. They get to just like join, like watch it like live as it goes down, and then the following week, I think it is. Yeah, the following week we post it for everybody else. Or later.
Okay. I still need to watch that stream you did of freaking the game.
Oh, Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah.
I still need to watch that video you shared me because I have been busy.
No, I believe it. Oh, I believe it.
You know, it's funny. Every time I talk about having a boyfriend, my friends are like, "You're gay." It's like I always tell them, "Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem like it." They always say I don't act it.
It's like, what does that even mean? It's like
I guess they expect me to be like, "Hey."
That's like that makes as much sense as people telling me that I don't act black, because I've legit been told that before. Like, oh, you don't act black. I'm like, what the hell are you? What does that even mean?
You probably get that as much as I get. I don't act gay.
Yeah.
I think people expect me to be. I think they expect me to be a stereotypical. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's so weird. People are weird.
They are.
Oh well.
And I've definitely had a few people who judge me for it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But
people love to judge,
They do, but I have my group of friends and I'm happy with them.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Speaking of, I still need to talk to Hylian Creed about if he wanted to be on the podcast with you.
Oh yeah.
He'd probably want to talk about something like Smash Brothers or something.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't played Smash Brothers in so long. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
He has been uploading he does a lot of For Glory Smash Bros stuff online. So he is pretty good. I say that, but I kind of wrecked him on the last Smash Brothers video we did together.
Oh, did you?
I don't know. So I mean, he's good. I don't know. I used to compete in tournaments, so maybe it's like riding a bike.
Wow, nice.
I guess Smash Bros is like riding a bike. You never forget.
It's one of those things, yeah. Like I can still pick up Smash Bros like Brawl or Melee and like be okay. Like I can hold my own, but like. Yeah, it's one of those things that you kind of like don't like forget how to play, which is cool.
Yeah, unless you like move to a completely new Smash Bros. You've never played.
Right.
Most likely the end. Like I know from Melee to Brawl, the physics engine in Melee was different from Brawl.
Oh, it was so drastic. It was crazy. Like a lot of people didn't like Brawl. Like, man, fuck this game. Yeah, we want Melee. Blah blah this and that. And then I'm like, dude, it's a different game.
Yeah, Brawl was good.
Why would you want it to be the same though?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Melee definitely was amazing, and
yeah.
I can say it's probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But Brawl and I guess 4 Wii U. I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know really how to call the other one. So 4, I guess Smash 4. They're both amazing.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, Smash. If you haven't played Smash 4 yet, you need to.
I wonder if we'll bring it to the Switch. That'd be cool.
I heard they're gonna be doing that, and they're gonna be making an HD remaster of Melee.
Ooh, that could be
so
cool. Hey,
I hope they do that. If they don't, oh well. I got my Wii that can play GameCube games, so whatever.
Yeah, that's why I bought a Wii. I was like, oh, cool, it's a GameCube with motion controls. Sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know there are some Wiis that didn't have the GameCube thing, the backwards compatibility.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there weren't too many. I think they were like the first kind of generation of Wii.
Mm-hmm.
That, or it might have been the second. I'm not sure, but we were lucky enough to get 2 Wiis that could play GameCube games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like one for upstairs and then one for downstairs that after a while we never used, so I just was able to bring it upstairs.
Good stuff.
I plan on actually doing a playthrough of, well, I guess, of Melee, but it's, I guess I can't really call it a playthrough. It's more like a goals playthrough where I just set myself some goals. Just unlock every character in a certain set of levels, and then it's done.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely am not going to do Brawl, though, because too many characters.
Right, yeah. And even if you ran through the story mode, that story mode takes forever.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Long. It's good, though. It's, like, really cool.
Oh, yeah, it was good. I like how it introduced all the characters in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But, lost my train. Oh, yeah, I remember that, freaking Melee had a bit of a story. Or no, wait, it wasn't a story, it was adventure mode.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
And I remember, like, I could still picture the first time I played it. It was like Christmas Day, and the Wii was downstairs, or the GameCube was downstairs. This is before the Wii. And we were just playing adventure mode downstairs. And of course, first character you ever choose in Smash, Mario.
Oh, of course.
Just played it as Mario, and it was the most amazing thing ever. We were playing that, and then I played Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, nice. Such a good game. Such a good game.
It was. I actually remember the first time I had ever heard about Luigi's Mansion. We were at do you remember when general stores in the gaming area used to have like preview TVs with the console hooked up to it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was at a Walmart, I believe.
Nice.
And they were showing, there was a GameCube. And I thought, what is this magical device? And I see Luigi's Mansion, a game all about Luigi. It's like, I have to have this magical device.
I must have it.
I'm probably going to talk about that in the podcast.
Oh, that's fine. That is totally cool.
I'm so excited to play Luigi's Mansion for October. And this time I can actually play it well because it won't be on an emulator.
Oh, yeah. Emulators are cool. It's just sometimes they're kind of jank.
Yeah, the best emulators are pretty much N64, N64 and below.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
the Dolphin emulator is alright. There's like, it gets like weird sometimes, but
it is. There are some games that are just impossible to run, like Mario Sunshine. I'm like half tempted to give you the Luigi's Mansion themed picture of my mascot, but you already made the thumbnail. Sorry, replying to a message.
No, it's all good.
I feel like I have to say sorry because I find silence is just, I hate silence.
Oh, I'm one of those weird people that's like mad comfortable with silence. Like I can be on top of a mountain and like it'll be like just nothing around. And I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Well, I feel like a silence that you're like on a mountain or in a forest. I feel like that I could do because that's like natural silence or you're outdoors.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's just silent and I'm in a building, I just feel so uncomfortable. I don't know why. I think, actually, you know what it is? I think it's because of old movies I used to watch when I was younger.
It always gets all quiet before something bad happens.
Yeah. Speaking of, did you see the new It?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it?
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah, Thomas and Ben from Charge Shot, they're trying to get, they try to get me to watch. I'm like, nope, I'm a coward. I'm a chicken. I ain't gonna do it. Nope.
Yeah, my brother, and my brother's girlfriend, we all saw it in a GDX theater, a giant theater.
Nice.
And it's basically a step down from IMAX, but it's a step up from normal theater.
So it's like not quite 4K, but it's not 1080p. It's like 1440p.
Yeah, kind of.
Nice.
I mean, going to the theater is enough for me because I don't get to go enough.
Cool, cool. All right. Well, I got 606 on my end. Did you want to go ahead and get started?
Six. Oh, yeah, we can go ahead and get started.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I guess we'll just roll right onto it. Hello and welcome. And if you're watching this and being silent in the chat, because we're live right now. That's right. The LoDown is live. I decided to stream this episode because I just thought it might be fun. And I am joined once again by my buddy, IndieTimmie.
Hello.
Welcome once again, bud. You're basically just a regular guest on the LoDown at this point, so.
Podcasts are fun, man.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. If you think about it, though, podcasts, it's just talking. That's all it is.
It is, but I mean, it's just a step below from what I do every night, so whatever.
Right, right.
I talk and play video games.
Right. So, today, this evening, wherever you are in the world, depending on... Let me start over with that. This evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, we are talking about horror games. By horror games, I mean scary games, not games with prostitutes. Horror games.
Yeah, people always, you gotta correct that.
Yes.
Yeah, or if you're on the burning sun of Tatooine, like my friend, because apparently it's like 130 degrees for him.
Oh gosh. Oh my.
He said it got up to 100 today.
Oh man.
September, everybody.
Yeah, it's actually getting cool here in my part of the world. I'm in Vegas, in the desert of all places, and it's actually starting to chill. Get pretty chill.
Can you give some to us?
I'll try.
I'd love it.
I'll try to telepathically push the weather over in your direction. But yes,
I'm just excited for it to get cold.
Oh yeah, I know, right? It actually gets pretty cold here. The first year we moved here, we actually got snow, and I was like, "It's snowing in the desert. It's not supposed to be snow. It's supposed to be sand in the desert. What is this?"
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But yeah, horror games. We're talking about horror games, and I figured it would be a good time to talk about this because we're gradually coming up on October. So as we all know,
spooky month.
Yes, the spookiest month of the year, Halloween.
Actually, some people like to say Christmas is the spookiest, or December is the spookiest month of the year.
Yeah, depending. Actually, you know, with like statistics and everything, like suicides go up and stuff during the holidays. So there's that. But
But we're talking about spooky as in monsters and ghouls and boo.
yes, the fun kind of spooky. I'm talking about jump scares and Freddy Fazbears and something else that rhymes with that.
I always say Freddy Krueger because he came
Freddy
first.
Krueger. Ah, yes. Yeah. You know, it actually took me a while to realize that was kind of like the parallel they were drawing. I'm like, why do they call him Freddy Fazbear? That's such a weird name. And then I'm like, wait, Freddy Krueger? Freddy Fazbear? And then like, I think it was FNAF 4 with like, where he was like the nightmare version with the nails and stuff. I was like, oh crap, it's Freddy Krueger, bear version.
Because he's even got the hat.
Wow. Yeah, he even has the little hat and everything. It's,
They need to make a skin of Freddy Fazbear where he's like colored like Freddy Krueger's sweater.
I know, right? Isn't Freddy Krueger in or is that Jason that's in the new Mortal Kombat?
They are both actually.
Oh, they should totally make a skin for
in the new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
They're the new Mortal Kombat Jason was, the Mortal Kombat before that Freddy was.
Oh, okay. Well, they should make a Freddy Fazbear skin for that character. That would be cool.
They might. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's gotten so big.
Yeah, it has. It really has. I'm not like at this point, like I'm not even like interested in the story anymore. It's just like, okay, another Freddy Fazbear game, cool. It's you know, it's interesting because I feel like some of the best games that came from that whole era are some of the fan games. Like what is it? The Joy of Creation, I think it is.
Oh
Joy of
yeah,
Creation. Yeah.
I watched Markiplier play that.
Yeah, that game looks pretty good because it like kind of like it. Well, it literally takes it into another dimension. It's like the whole 3D free roaming kind of thing. So
Yeah, which is what I was expecting any possible Five Nights at Freddy's game to be, but
yeah, yeah,
oh well.
yeah.
I mean, I respect Scott for what he's done. He's made a cult following of this game.
Right, and he did it with like really limited like tech too. Like it's just as far as like the engine he used and everything like that. Everything was like it was like kind of like that whole pre-rendered sort of like almost kind of like retro like rare NES Super NES game kind of style, which was interesting because like it was funny because like when I was a kid like that style of graphics like it like creeped me out. Like even like Donkey Kong Country, what level was it? The stop and go station. Dude, screw that level. The stop and go station. I am not okay with that level. I'm like, nope. That's when I pass the controller on. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. Like they're asleep and then they're running and their eyes are glowing red and they're like running after you and shit. It's just no, it's not cool.
Yeah, I remember that. The robot from Donkey Kong Country 3 that you fight, where you have to stomp on his head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That thing used to scare the shit out of me.
Creepy. Ugh.
Just because it was pre-rendered too.
Yeah, like there's just some like weird creep factor to pre-rendered graphics, which I feel like is what made FNAF so
different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But
I mean, the first one was amazing. The first FNAF.
I remember watching the Grumps play it. That was the first like ever like anything I saw about that game. Like, what is this? It's like a reverse Jack in the Box. Like that's literally what it is. Like that's what I call that style of game. It's like instead of like doing something to make the thing jump out and scare you, you're doing stuff to keep it from jumping out and scaring you. So like there's this like weird anticipation. It's like I'm gonna screw up and then this thing's gonna jump out and scare me. So I really better not screw up. But then that itself makes you screw up and then get the jump scare. So it's like it's really quite a genius cycle.
It is. Yeah, I like the first one.
But yeah, since we're doing the show live, it's kind of a interesting. I guess we can kind of switch up the format a little bit because we normally how I would like to do it is first we kind of define the genre and then talk about examples of the genre and then. But I mean, like horror games, like there's not really. I mean, they're games that scare the crap out of you. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we can kind of just skip that part. So, but
yeah.
So tell me like if you had to only play five horror games. You only had 5 for the next year. And you can only play those 5 horror games. Like you can yeah, everything else aside, what 5 would you choose? Or you can pick more than 5, doesn't matter, whatever.
Does a game series count as a single game, or do
it would have to be a single game out of that series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silent Hills 2, 3, 4, Resident Evil 7, and let's see, probably Doom. Those.
Nice.
I know everything's Silent Hill in there, but
nice.
That's my favorite.
Silent Hill's a creepy game, though.
It is. It's my absolutely favorite horror game.
Yeah, it's one of those games I played a little bit of it, but I never finished it because I'm a coward. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, my first introduction to Silent Hill, I can't remember exactly when Silent Hill 2 came out. I know I was super young, but I was playing it on the PS2. And have you ever played Silent Hill 2?
I think I remember watching my friend play it because I'm like, I'm not playing that game. Forget you, man.
Okay. You know how at the beginning you're running down like a dirt path?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were running down that dirt path, and it never ended. Like, we had a glitched version that never ended.
That is so weird.
But my child, like mine, thought like, okay, this is too confusing. I don't like it.
It's like,
And then,
if I like not doing something right, I don't get this.
yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
a fan.
And then like, I don't know, 3-4 years later, I get it again. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna try this again because it looks interesting.
Mhm.
I play it again. I get past the part that was glitched, and I thought, oh, so we just couldn't pass it on the last one, and
Mhm.
it quickly became my absolute favorite horror game series.
Nice, nice. Now, what about Silent Hill makes it your favorite horror game series?
Oh man, what about it doesn't? I mean, I could start with the monsters. It has some of the most creative monsters I've seen in horror games. I do admit, near the end, the monsters got kind of fan servicey and a lot of the same. Like the nurse, I feel like they changed up the nurse to be a little bit more fan servicey, but that's all right, I guess. They did like what is the most like Silent Hill 3? I can go to that one. Silent Hill 3 had some of the most screwed up monsters I've seen in gaming. Like one of the monsters in Silent Hill 3 I can never fight without getting a chill down my back. It's called Pendulum, and it's like it's two torsos stuck together by the bottom with blades coming out of both their heads, and it, like blades for legs and stuff, and it makes this sound. I can't even describe it, but
I'm like shuddering just like thinking about it.
Let's see if I can. Silent Hill 3 Pendulum. Working pendulum. I don't know if that's. Oh yeah. Here's this. There's a specific video just for the sound.
Oh boy.
Do you want me to link it to you or?
Yeah. Go ahead and link it to me.
Okay. Because
I'll check it out right before I go to bed.
That's a good idea. There you go. Like in Discord.
Oh.
But
boy.
it like
Sweet.
and one thing about Silent Hill 3 is that it has that sound travels thing, so you can hear it like down a hall.
Oh, the sound design. Yeah.
And like every time I heard it, I thought, okay, am I gonna run or do I fight this thing? Because my first option is to run.
That would be my choice. That's what I would do.
But another thing I love about Silent Hill is the music made by the amazing Akira Yamaoka.
Akira Yamaoka. Nice.
He makes very depressing but music, but there's a beauty in it, I guess. I know it sounds cheesy, but
it's like beautifully sad kind of.
Yeah. And he has a sound to his music that once you hear it, you're like, yeah, that's Akira.
Nice. Yeah.
And another thing is this is going on a long time, sorry, but another thing is the story of Silent Hill. Basically, the town is haunted and stuff like that. Everyone knows that, but it makes everybody go through their own demons. Like they go through their own psychological hell, basically. And that's another thing I absolutely love about it. Because all the characters you play as have some like deep depression inside them, and Silent Hill just kind of brings it out in the form of demons. And it's just, I love it. It's my depression game, I can say that.
I think everybody needs a depression game. You need that one game that's just like, I just want to feel like garbage while I play.
Exactly. And normally a depression game I feel like should be happier, but I don't know. Silent Hill 3 is just my perfect depression game.
My depression game is actually Dark Souls 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because here's the reason why, though. The reason why Dark Souls 1 is my depression game is, first of all, the reason I prefer Dark Souls 1 over the newer Dark Souls games is, here we are talking about freaking Dark Souls again.
hey, it's kind of a horror game.
It is kind of, yeah. But the reason why I prefer the first one over some of the newer ones is just because, like, the new Dark Souls 3 is cool. It's awesome. It's a fun game to play. But it's a little, for me, I like kind of like that slower pace, kind of like that whole, like, especially because I like to play the knight characters. So, like, you start off with all the heavy armor and stuff. So you're literally kind of like just trudging through the game. And, like, when you're depressed or sad, it's like, that's kind of how you feel, like, on the day-to-day. Everything's like a freaking grind. Everything is like an ordeal or a struggle just to, like, even sometimes getting out of bed in the day is, like, hard, you know?
It's true.
So it's like for me, like I don't know, because at one point I got to the point to where like I can just like run through the game like pretty easily, but like it's still, even still, no matter how good you are at that game, like you're gonna screw up at some point. You're gonna like die like some stupid death or something like that. So it's
I
like,
mean, the first enemy of the game, if you give him an inch, he will destroy you.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's why Dark Souls 1 is my impression game, because it's just like that kind of like slow kind of grind. You're kind of working through things, and then like, because when I'm like not having like a good time, it's most of the time I'm just trying to like work through like my thoughts and my feelings and stuff like that. So I'm like, I feel this way. Why do I feel this way? What's causing me to feel this way? Like, is it, am I justified to feel this way, or am I like overreact? All those kind of like thoughts. You just kind of like trying to work through all your stuff. It's like I do that as I kind of work through the game. So
yeah.
You
know what game wouldn't be able to help you with that is Neo. You wouldn't have time to think about anything else because it's so freaking fast paced.
So I've heard that's a pretty fast paced one.
It is. Like I feel like if anyone had anxiety issues, they would have an anxiety attack playing that game.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching my brother play it, and some of the fights in it, you have to be on point or you will die in seconds. It's just it's killer. It's fun. It looks amazing, but it's just, it's ninjas, so it's samurai, so it's gonna be fast paced.
Right. You gotta be quick. Yeah,
it's basically the Dark Souls version of, or it's basically the Ninja Gaiden version of Dark Souls.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Ninja Gaiden.
That's a hard game.
That game destroyed my soul so many times in so many different ways. It's like, oh yeah, cool, I got past this part, dead. I'm like, oh.
Did you ever play the one for Xbox?
I played the original one, and then I didn't play the sequels, but I played like the remakes, like Ninja Gaiden, I think it was Black. I think it was.
Okay, yeah. Ninja Gaiden Black was basically a remake of the original Xbox one.
And then they had the new difficulty, right? The Black mode or whatever it is, the super like stupid hard like difficulty, as if like the game could get any more difficult. I'm like, they figured it out somehow.
You know what I hated is that easy mode was basically hidden. Like you had, basically me and my brother, we would die like 3 times on the first enemy, and that would activate, like that would say like, you suck, you want to activate easy mode? It wouldn't say that.
Yeah, but
that's basically might as well what it says.
It's like, the game too hard for you? You want to make it easier for you? Oh man. Oh boy.
Just screw that game.
Yeah. I love it, but I freaking hate it at the same time.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get back to horror games.
Yes, horror games. But yeah, getting back to horror games. So yeah, it seems like the so do you think we will ever see, speaking of just going back to the whole Silent Hill topic, do you think we're ever going to see a proper Silent Hill, like the next one, the next installment of it, or is it just kind of something we're going to have to rely on fan games and like indie devs for?
I've been hearing rumors that Kojima is trying to get the rights to Silent Hill. So I hope to God that he does, because after what he did with PT, I feel like he could be the most, like he could make the best Silent Hill out there. So
it's very rare that you hear that like a demo to a game is a rare thing to have. It's like a collector's type of thing, because not every you can't access the PT demo anymore, can you? I don't
no, you can't. And you'll find PS4s on eBay. Like PS4 with PT demo for like $1,000.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that is nuts. That is crazy.
I was half tempted to buy one.
Yeah, I don't
Just
blame
because,
you. I mean,
it's a piece of history that I want.
I never thought that like a digital download could be scarce.
Yeah.
It's weird.
In fact, I'm going to look real quick and see if I can find one.
But yeah, that'd be great if Kojima were to get the intellectual property for that, because I mean, what is Konami doing with it?
They're making a pachinko machine.
Really?
Yeah, they've turned it into a pachinko machine.
Oh yeah, Konami.
They do not realize the cult following that Silent Hill has.
Why?
So, well, I mean, and look at Kojima. The amount of symbolism he has in his games, I can only imagine what he could do with Silent Hill, because Silent Hill was all about symbolism.
Especially with like new like tech, like with like the new engines and like the new consoles that are out, and just like all the, oh my gosh, like
yeah, he always made his own engines, so just seeing a Silent Hill game in one of his engines would make I could die happy.
You know what I would absolutely hate is a Silent Hill VR game. I would absolutely freaking
oh
hate
my
that.
god, I would snatch that up immediately.
I'd probably throw up and then die.
Oh, I probably would too, but I would do it happy. I would be smiling the entire time.
Oh, I believe it. Oh man.
I mean, I want to get Doom for VR. I'm excited for that.
Oh my gosh, like that game would make me throw up too, just not for the same reason, just because that game is just so like run shoot glory kill.
Speaking of Doom, did you see the gameplay of it on the Switch?
I didn't. I did hear that it's coming to the Switch though, which is freaking awesome.
It is, and on portable, it looked amazing. Like of course, like for all you 60 FPS buffs, it isn't gonna run at 60 FPS portably, but when it's docked, it will.
Oh, nice. That
but
makes
just
sense.
the fact that
the
fact that it ran at 30 FPS with absolutely no frame drops on portable is amazing.
I'm sure they could make it run at 60 in the handheld mode, but it'd probably look like junk.
Probably they'd have to lower the graphics a bit, which I mean,
not worth it.
A lot of gamers, graphics versus FPS. I'm sure they'd rather graphics. I don't know though. I mean, they're saying such a.
It depends on the game. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine like playing like crappy looking Doom, you know, especially like on a handheld. Especially like, I don't know, because like for me, like I kind of expect games to kind of not perform as well in handheld mode on the Switch, especially some of these more graphically intensive games, because you know you can only have so much power in like the handheld, so that's when you would kind of like dock the thing. But just the fact that you can take Doom and be like, oh, I'm gonna plop this out of my dock thing and just walk around or ride the bus or, you know, do something just while playing Doom, killing demons, that is cool. That is really cool.
It is. There's a PS4 with PT on it for $200.
That's it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
$200?
I think after I pay for this thing I'm saving up for, I'm gonna try and get that.
Huh. That's remarkably cheap. I thought it would be like $2,000.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing like 300, 430, 650. I think I'm gonna try and buy one because I would love to have a PS4 with PT on it.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Being the Silent Hill fanboy that I am.
Are there any good Silent Hill fan games that you've played?
There was kind of two, but there was like the second one I played was just kind of a demo. But hang on, I have to search on my channel real quick. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Trying to remember the name of them. Silent Hill. Load. I forgot that I uploaded a Mario 64 ROM hack. It was just Silent Hill 64.
Nice.
Let's see. There was Silent Hill: The Pledge, which was a demo, and it was super good. And the other fan game was Silent Hill Alchemilla, and it was
okay. That was it. That's it.
Yeah, it was in the Half-Life engine. There was absolutely no monsters, no jump scares, but it was one of the best fan games I've ever played, probably.
Interesting.
And then there was like
just,
Minecraft.
it was purely atmospheric then, huh?
Yeah, and
awesome.
And there was like insanely hard puzzles.
Ah, yeah.
Like I commend the guy for the puzzles that he had in it, because I had to look some up.
Oh, really? Nice.
Well, let's just say some of those episodes, they might be like 20 minutes, but I was recording for like 3 hours on some of them.
Oh man, a good puzzle, you know. It's always a good feeling when you solve it, though. When you finally like, yeah, I got it.
It is, and there was plenty of them where I was stuck, but then I thought, oh,
Mm-hmm.
But there were those some that I was just like, okay, screw this. I'm not looking it up. But I mean, I gotta commend the guy. He made some good puzzles.
Yeah. So speaking on just the whole kind of no jump scare sort of thing. So what do you as far as like what makes a good horror game? Do you think that the better horror games are the ones where you are defenseless and you have to like run and hide, or the ones where you can actually like fight back but it's just like really difficult, like as far as like combat and stuff like that? Something like kind of like the new Resident Evil 7 with, you know, you can shoot stuff, but it's like it's not like inherently like a shooter. It's still like that horror type of game.
Yeah, it really depends. Like some games work really well without being able to defend yourself. Like the first Outlast was really, the second Outlast was basically just run, jump scare, hide and all that, but I feel like the first Outlast did a pretty good job. But in my own personal opinion, I prefer the horror games where you can defend yourself, just because this monster is this monster is never going to stop until I kill it.
Right. Exactly.
It's not gonna be this monster is never gonna stop until I run and hide, and then he's gonna stop and go away.
Exactly.
Like, I don't. I'm the kind of person who thinks a monster would not just go uninterested and just run away.
Right. It's like, he's hiding now. I might as well just walk in the other direction until I see him again.
I have the mindset where I think a monster would just be relentless until you're dead, just like freaking, I can't remember his name, just Daddy from Resident Evil 7. He is relentless.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And I just feel like the defend yourself game is better, but there are some, like Amnesia, that was a very good runaway game. I mean, that was a revolutionary horror game.
I feel like they kind of like established that sort of format, the whole run and hide thing.
It did kind of. I've always had the thought that Clock Tower kind of did.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about Clock Tower. That's right.
I mean, it was point and click, but you still had to. There have probably been tons of other games where you run from the monster, but
sure. Yeah,
probably none as popular as Clock Tower. But yeah, honestly, the defend yourself horror game I prefer, just because. Well, for one, we've had a lot of running away horror games, but also because it's just scarier. Because something I've noticed in running away horror games and fighting horror games is that the fighting horror games, the monster is so much bigger and scarier. But when you're running away, the monster is always kind of more human-sized.
Yeah, and it's usually like slow enough to where you can like get away and like hide somewhere, and then the AI is not super smart, so it just kind of, if you hide in a locker, it just like looks to the left, looks to the right, grumbles, and then leaves the room.
Exactly. I mean, look at The Evil Within. The monsters in that game are insane.
Those chainsaw dudes in the beginning. Ah, dude. Oh,
yeah.
No.
There's this, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played The Evil Within. There is this monster that you fight in a car garage. It is so big and massive, and it's so creepy, and you would never see it in a runaway horror game. And it's a boss fight.
Oh, jeez.
Like, you'd never get something like that in a runaway horror game.
Yeah,
and it's just so much more satisfying. The fact, like, I killed that thing. I like that would be impossible, but because video games are supposed to give you that satisfaction of doing impossible things.
Right, facing impossible odds and overcoming shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the fact that I just took down a giant beast that you wouldn't even your mind wouldn't be able to comprehend if it wasn't real, you feel good about it. And you're sitting there like your soul can just let go of what you just did, and you're like, oh.
Yep. That's me in Dark Souls bosses.
That's my opinion on fighting horror games.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, with games where I actually have like guns and I can shoot, like that kind of introduces another thing for me to be afraid of, and that's running out of bullets. Because I'm the kind of guy, like, when I was playing when I was doing my Let's Play of Fear 2, Like a can would fall off the shelf, and I'd be like, ah, oh, it was a can.
You waste all that ammo.
It's like I blew a whole clip just on a friggin' like soda can. But the thing is, like, it's Fear 2 is a good horror game because they have that kind of balance between you like being like able to stop like monsters and stuff, and then also you being helpless, because you'll be running along, shoot some stuff, and then you get pulled into like this kind of sequence where it's like you have no control over it because you're literally pulled into like this other dimension. There's like this weird demon child that's chasing you, and she's just in your face, and it's crazy. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like I feel like that's one of those times where it's okay to kind of like take control away from the player, because nothing like for me, like, you know, being in a situation like a bad situation and then not having control on top of it, like that just like ups like the scariness for me. I'm like, no, I can't get it out.
Yeah, they definitely have to establish an unbeatable monster. Like The Evil Within did that perfectly. They have this human-like monster that, you know, deep inside he's something horrifying, but he just looks like a human, but you can't touch him. So you just have actually The Evil Within had like 3 of those.
Oh boy,
monsters you just couldn't kill.
Just
but
those unbeatables.
Yeah, I feel like most of the game you can kill things, and then every now and then you're given this monster that you just cannot kill. And it makes it scarier because now you're thinking like, okay, I'm killing these things, but when is that other thing gonna pop out?
Right. Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 3 with freaking Nemesis.
Oh boy.
That thing constantly, and you can wound it, yeah, and you can make it fall down, but it's gonna pop out again.
Yeah, but it's just gonna get pissed off and just be like, oh.
Yeah. So I feel like Resident Evil 3 did a perfect example of that.
So you mentioned monsters. So what type of monsters do you think make the best kind of monsters? Like the big, grotesque, like abnormal, like looks like it just crawled out of the seventh circle of hell type of monster demon thing, or like the ones where it's like more like people, but like they're just crazed and they're just insane, just like, and they're just like Outlast, for example.
Yeah, I think it's the more grotesque thing that's my favorite, just because
like stuff of
like
nightmares kind of thing.
Yeah, like did you ever play Bloodborne?
No, but I did watch some Let's Plays of it, and some of those bosses, dude, even just some of the regular mobs that you fight, like, whew.
Yeah, there was a boss in that game that I cannot remember. Bloodborne First Son, I guess. No, that's not. I can't remember exactly why Infamous come up. I wasn't searching that up. Anyway, there's this monster that falls from the sky, and it's like a bunch of different bodies just piled up into one.
Ugh.
And you can't comprehend it.
Ugh.
It's just amazing, and I loved it. So that's my favorite kind of monster. Just they're grotesque. Like you have no idea where this thing crawled out of. It shouldn't exist. Just get it out of here.
Yeah, that what is it? Dark Souls 1, the Gaping Dragon, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, that thing used to be a dragon at some point. Yeah, right. That looks like an inside out like sea urchin, like with like or something. I don't know. It was just Ugh. Oh,
that
boy.
dragon was ruined for me because of Oni Plays. It's a giant vagina.
Oh.
Don't watch Oni Plays if you don't want games ruined for you. He will ruin stuff.
Noted.
I mean, he's hilarious, but he's very like rude commentary. Like, just if you've seen like Oni cartoons, it's basically that, but gaming. I mean, I love Oni Plays, but he will ruin some imagery.
I believe it.
But yeah, that's my favorite monster. Just the you can't comprehend grotesque kind of thing.
Yeah. And then like with games like Outlast, just like the fact that it's just like you're basically in like a mental institution, and they're they're people. They're shaped like people, but they're not like people anymore, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
they've completely just gone insane.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing, and it's like, I don't know.
One
I
thing,
feel like that creeps me out more just because I feel like it's more likely to occur in real life. You know, that kind of thing. Like I could be like walking down an alley and then some guy like jumps out of nowhere and like he just like bum rushes me and it's just
that's true. The enemies in Outlast could be a real thing, but there is actually one thing I want to say about Outlast. I do want to say I respect it because I feel like it pushed the envelope a little bit in what we accept in video game gore and horror.
Because they definitely pushed the limits at several points in that game. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Outlast 2, once again, Outlast 2 I feel like is very repetitive and it gets frustrating, but it once again pushed what we accept, and I was once again respect it. Because for it to become into freaking pop culture, I love it.
Yeah. That was an indie game, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it was by a bunch of people who actually like really legit knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love that they pushed what pop culture accepts in horror now.
Yeah. And that's one of the cool things about the horror genre is that it's almost kind of like baked into the genre that you can like do that sort of thing, because that's what horror is all about. It's all about like the most like horrific and grotesque thing that you can possibly show to your audience. So it's like,
oh
yeah.
Oh, and there will always be those people who like just can't take it seriously, but you know they're still having fun with it.
Right.
And you know, sometimes I'm kind of like that. Like it's so over the top that it's like, all right, this is kind of stupid, but I love it. And then there's things like Silent Hill where it's like it's just right to the point that it can mess with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
Yeah, I liked Outlast though, and then Doom. I mean, that's as about over the top as you can get.
I like Doom because I can rip him in half.
Yeah, Doom was basically the perfect example of a modern remake done right.
Absolutely.
Actually, it wasn't even really a remake. It was a continuation. Because it kind of takes place on what happened after Doom Guy finished everything. I like how they tried to give the Doom Guy a new name, Doom Slayer. It never stuck for anyone. It's still Doom Guy. I never even
heard that.
Yeah, there's a point where like you're listening to audio logs by like Satan himself or something, and he calls you the Doom Slayer. But
that's kind of a lame sounding name.
Yeah, no, it didn't stick for anyone. Everyone still calls him Doom Guy because, come on, he's Doom Guy.
I think Doom Marine is another thing too, but that also doesn't really.
Yeah, there's just something. There's just something like it's Doom Guy.
Yeah, it's Doom Guy. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
It's like with Doctor Who, the Ood is the Ood. You can't reference that. You don't watch Doctor Who. I used to. My dad is super into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually got me into it when I was into my depression. And
I've seen like an episode here or there, but I never really like super got into it like a lot of my friends did.
It's one of those shows where if you miss an episode, you just need to go back.
Yeah.
Because you will miss something important, most likely. It's one of those shows that I don't feel like has any filler episodes.
That's good though. I like when shows do less of that. I hate filler. That's why I stopped watching anime, because it just started turning into all filler.
That's true. People call Naruto filler the show.
Yeah, like I would go and sit down and actually watch through Naruto, but like there's just so much filler. I mean, I know there's like guides and stuff. A guide for a show of all things. It's like, oh, watch this episode, then skip to this one, and then that. I'm like, I ain't trying to do all that. Just take it all the filler. Just take it all.
Like, me and my brother started watching it on Netflix. We got to season 4, and that's where the English dub ends. Oh. So we tried to watch it on Crunchyroll, but they don't have the English dub on that yet. So we watched an episode or two in English sub. There's a lot of people who say sub, not dub, but I can't watch sub. I like to watch, not read.
It depends. Like for me, like if I'm trying to relax, if it's late or something like that, I'll watch something that's dubbed. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care if the voice acting's horrible. Like I grew up in the era of terrible voice acting. Like
That's true.
it's like whatever. Bad voice acting isn't that huge of a deal to me. Like I mean, it kind of is, but not that much. But
No, don't go.
oh man, and anime has
schizophrenic.
some pretty bad voice acting.
It does. There's some bad voice acting in anime, but like, I don't know. I'm too American to have it English subbed. I love Japan and I want to visit it sometime, but I'm too American for English subbed.
Yeah, it just depends on the show for me. Like if the voice acting is super cringy, then yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Well,
subtitled.
that's another thing. Like we watched 4 seasons of the English voices, so
you got
to
used
just
to them?
so to suddenly go to Japanese voices, it's like
Yeah, not the same. Not the same.
just Naruto's English voice actor is just too like symbolic.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. He's one of like my more preferred voices and characters in anime.
I'm gonna become Okage. Believe it.
Yeah, exactly. I love using that gif.
Anyway, we got to Naruto somehow. So
yeah, I don't know how do we even.
We were talking about horror to Naruto.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so just to kind of like starting to wrap things up, are there any horror games that are coming out that you're looking forward to? I think I saw some footage of Evil Within 2, and that looked pretty high.
Oh yeah, I'm getting that for damn sure. I loved the Evil Within 1, so to not get the Evil Within 2 would be blasphemy.
Right.
There is actually one thing I want to talk about the Evil Within 1. For those who don't know, the Evil Within 1 was made by the same person who made Resident Evil. So people started getting into there was a very small minority of people who were under the assumption that it was going to be a lot like Resident Evil, and somehow that assumption got further out into the crowd, and suddenly everyone just thought like, oh, he said it's going to be like Resident Evil, when that never happened. So there was so many people who ended up hating it because they were expecting another type of Resident Evil, when he never said that. So I hate that people ended up hating it because of the wrong assumption, because I didn't go into it expecting another Resident Evil. I went into it expecting like he said, an action horror game. And that's exactly what it was. It started out so over the top, and I fell in love with it right after the first.
Yeah, the imagery in that game, just in those like first like scenes and stuff, just like with the city like collapsing all around you, it was like, like what is even going on right now? What is even going on?
Like if any of you haven't played that game, please play it. Just everything will blow your mind in it. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting the Evil Within 2. Apparently it's going to be like even more disturbing, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and aren't they isn't there a DLC coming out for Resident Evil 7? I think it's the one where he plays Chris Redfield, I think.
I'm not sure. I know there was a bunch of DLC that came out already.
I thought I remembered seeing something about that, but it's basically like, it just basically looked like a really slow-paced like shooter kind of, and you're Chris Redfield, you're like punching like zombies and like just, yeah, I'm Chris Redfield, look at my arms. That kind of thing. But,
yeah, Resident Evil 7, not a hero.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh.
It's really interesting.
I'm saddened that I haven't heard about this. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, they kind of like, it's definitely more shooting stuff, but it still kind of has that same sort of like look and feel, sort of. It's just really interesting, just because the way the style of the way the style of the graphics is now, like with this new version. It's just kind of interesting seeing Chris Redfield in that sort of art style.
Yeah, there is something that people have talked about, how the next 2 Resident Evils are going to be in first person, and I honestly wouldn't be against that, but it makes sense because Resident Evils 1, 2, and 3 were all fixed cameras. Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 all over the shoulder. and now 7, 8, 9, first person.
That makes sense.
It kind of does. I mean, if I'm not gonna be against it at all.
I mean, Silent Hill was gonna go first person too, so I mean, it's you kind of have to change things. You have to switch things up after a while, otherwise it's not as scary anymore. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, before PT, Silent Hill tried to be kind of an open world game, and it worked. Yeah, with Silent Hill Downpour.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
right. Yeah.
It wasn't completely open world, but it was enough to the point that like you'd get a few extra hours if you did side quests. I mean, there wasn't any side quests like there'd be someone in a hotel asking, "Can you find this?" It's like you're still completely alone. You just decide to do stuff. So it was kind of weird, but I loved it all the same. Oh yeah, and one other horror game I'm expecting. I know Friday the 13th's already been out for a while, but I'm still waiting for them to add single player. So I guess I'll throw that in to the what I'm waiting for.
Nice.
Because they're gonna be like adding VR too.
That actually reminds me. Did you ever play Until Dawn?
I did. I have a full
What did you think
playthrough.
of it?
Oh my! Until Dawn was probably one of the best horror games I've played in a long time.
It was a really good format the way they did it. It was kind of like, it was almost like a Telltale game sorta, but like
it was
super realistic and like the jump scares were pretty legit. Like
they were. There was a ton of jump scares that got me.
Like I don't remember like any like cheap jump scares. Like maybe there was one, but
I don't remember too many either, but I adored that game, and after I got done with it, I was sad because I wanted to relive it.
Yeah, you can't play it the first time, unfortunately. Again.
Yeah, I mean, I did hear there's Until Dawn: Rush of Blood, which is a VR game.
Oh,
so I'm probably gonna try and play that sometime.
Oh, man, that sounds horrific.
But I would definitely try and play that. Let's see. Are there any other horror games that I'm waiting for right now? Oh, how did I forget this? Have you ever played Nightmare Creatures or ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Nightmare Creatures was one of the best beat 'em up games ever. Like, just, I don't even care who you are. In my opinion, it's one of the best. They are remaking it.
Ooh, really? Huh. Nice.
There was a recent thing that just kind of showed a trailer, and it showed Victor Crowley, and then it just had the title of Nightmare Creatures. It's gonna be a freaking remake. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Like if none of you have played Nightmare Creatures, I mean, you may not want to because it's super hard, but like it's above Dark Souls hard. Well, because like I'm gonna explain it real quick. Nightmare Creatures is set up to completely work against you. Like you have, of course, the monsters that take forever to kill unless you know how to fight in that game because it's like combos and stuff. If you don't kill a monster for a while, you have a time limit that starts going down. And if it goes down completely, you start getting hurt.
Oh.
And of course, if you die, you'll lose your life. And if you lose all your lives, game over, back to the main menu.
Oh, jeez.
And that game has like 20 levels.
Oh.
So
sounds like fun.
I can't beat it without cheats. I will admit that right now. Like, I need cheats to beat that game. Like, I have a playthrough on my channel where I use cheats.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. It really does. I remember Markiplier's used cheats before. I remember.
It's true.
He tried to make it seem like he wasn't. He's like, I didn't cheat. Yeah, you did.
But, yeah, like, as a person who's been able to beat Dark Souls, or Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and all the other Dark Souls, I can't beat Nightmare Creatures.
Oh, man.
Without cheats.
It sounds kind of like Shinobi, the remake for PS2. Because after the first level, it was like, oh yeah, cool, you're a ninja, and then like after that, it's like, oh, by the way, your sword is cursed and it's gonna drain your health unless you just continuously kill monsters.
I don't think I've ever played Shinobi.
It's stupid difficult. So
it sounds like
if you ever feel like raging out sometime, give it a try.
I'm not one to typically want to rage, so.
Yeah, I think they were competing with Ninja Gaiden for like the most difficult like game. It was just that game was hard because of all the platforming that you had to do. it wasn't necessarily like the enemies that were hard. It was like a lot of like really like specific platforming that you had to do.
Yeah, I feel like if you would have to decide, I think Ninja Gaiden's got to beat because of the enemies.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just from a pure like just I'm just gonna bully the hell out of you sort of difficulty. Yeah. They take the
to the point that if you aren't completely on point with your button pressing, you will die.
Exactly. Oh, that reminds me. Did you ever play Fatal Frame?
I did, yes. We have Fatal Frame 1 and 2.
Yeah, my sister was a real big fan of that series, and I think her favorite one was the second one, Crimson Butterfly.
Yeah, Markiplier played that.
Yeah. Cool game.
Fatal Frame is a very confusing game. Like the puzzles are as hard as if you turned the riddle difficulty on Silent Hill to max.
yeah, that's one of those games. I think they tried to do something kind of like that with some indie game I saw. Only it was like with your cell phone. You had to take pictures of a ghost like with your cell phone.
Oh yeah, the Grumps played it.
I forget what it was called. Dread Out?
Dread Out, yeah, that's it. Dread
there
Out.
It is. Yeah.
That has my favorite Ross freak out.
Nice.
Like Ross freaking out because of a pig with a human head is just amazing.
I don't know if I watched that episode. I think I watched somebody else play it. I need to watch them.
You need to watch them play it because Danny and Ross freaking out is the best thing ever.
Awesome. I love Ross. Ross is so cool.
Ross is awesome. I feel like he's like the least favorite Grump.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't get enough love. Because it's funny because when Undertale first came out, I watched, it was him and Barry. They played through Undertale. I watched it at the same time as yours. And I was man, why don't these guys do more stuff? I like these guys, Ross and Barry. Why not?
Lately, Ross, Barry, and Brian, all of them, haven't been doing much on Game Grumps lately.
Really? Huh.
I think they've because they used to have Steam Train and Grumpcade and all that, but lately Steam Train and Grumpcade haven't gotten any love. I think it's because they've become so busy that they can't.
Yeah, you can only focus on so many projects.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of guest Grumps though, which is cool.
Nice.
And I love that they played the original Resident Evil, and I'm excited to see what they play for Halloween.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, speaking of which, what are you planning to play?
I was just about to ask if I could talk about that.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, the main game I plan on playing is I'm gonna try and beat Luigi's Mansion before The Evil Within 2 comes out.
Nice.
Which I'm pretty sure The Evil Within 2 comes out on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
And on Friday the 13th, I plan on playing Power Drill Massacre, which
oh, I remember that one.
I'm not excited about it because the jump scares in that game will shatter your eardrums.
Yeah, they will.
For Thursdays and Fridays, for those who don't know, I play hour-long episodes of games on Thursdays and Fridays. I'll be playing Nightmare Creatures 2 and Clock Tower.
Nice.
I don't know how long those will last. If they don't last all month, I'll find something else.
Sweet.
And let's see, I'm gonna try and find some indie horror games for Friday. So I'll play stuff like Marrow or
cool.
Something like that. And I'm thinking
creepy. Marrow.
Silent Hill platforming, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
And for the weekends, I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to keep Breath of the Wild going or if I'm going to find something else. I'm not sure. I might just cut weekends as a side thing completely for now and just continue playing Luigi's Mansion. Since I only have 13 days.
Right, yeah.
But that's all I got for now. There is also a special thing I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to give away too much right now, but it's kind of me reading something. And it's going to be 30 episodes. And then there's going to be something special on Halloween.
Cool.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. It was very hard to record. I got very sweaty and almost fainted.
Oh, jeez.
That sounded kind of wrong, but it's just because it was very hot and I was in the upstairs of a library.
Oh, okay. Suffering for the arts.
Yeah, I was sweating profusely and I had to wear masks. But it was worth it. Like, one thing I will say is if you are an aspiring filmmaker, don't get discouraged if your video doesn't come out as good as you had thought.
Right.
Because there were some parts in this that didn't work out the way I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still going to roll with it the way it is. Just because there's ways that I've thought around it that I can make it work. Mm-hmm. It's going to come out amateurish, but I'm an amateur filmmaker, so...
Hey, man. It's... Every project is all about figuring out how to do the next one better. That's all it's real. That's all it really is, you know.
Yeah.
So as long as it's at the end of the day, it's something that you put like significant effort into, and then you can sit back and be like, I freaking made this, me, nobody else, I did. Then that's all that matters, you know.
I also had to crawl into a little hole when I had when I came out. I had spiders on me, so.
Spider. No.
Yeah. Well, because okay. This first part, it has me as a monster coming out of a hole, and it was like a kind of a crawl space to an attic in the library.
Ooh.
And I crawled into it, and when I came out, I noticed I had like 3 spiders on me.
Oh.
And the scene came out pretty well, but I definitely freaked out after.
Yeah, I bet.
Like after everything I did, I didn't care how much footage didn't end up working. I still wanted to make something out of it.
Good. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Definitely looking forward to seeing it, especially after hearing all the work you put into it.
I will actually kind of... Do you mind if I plug what it is that I'm going to be reading?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I do want to advertise it just because they might be sharing one of my videos when I do it.
Nice.
It is Nightmare Soup that I'm going to be reading.
Okay.
And it's inspired by scary stories to tell in the dark. Did you ever read those books?
No, I read Goosebumps, and I watched Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That's awesome. Well, scary stories. Oh, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah.
Oh man, that legit gave me nightmares. That show used to.
Let's see if I can find some art from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and I will just link it to Discord.
Sweet.
But Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Oh wait, not Scary Stories for kids. Scary Stories to... Yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was a children's horror book. And they were a bunch of like... Why is there a picture of Donald Trump in this stuff? It was a bunch of like folklore tales just kind of gathered up into this book. And it was kind of mishmashed with a bunch of like horrifying illustrations.
Oh boy.
Like these illustrations were, oh boy. Like let's just say that when I was younger, I would hide the book just because I didn't want to see it.
Oh man.
Oh, let's see. Hang on. I think I will just send. Hang on. Let's find the. Oh, there it is. The thing. Here, I'll send this one. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, it's all good.
Here we go. That was one of the pictures that kind of attached to the story.
It's like a really messed up Grinch looking kind of thing almost.
It is, and there was just all kinds of things like that. And it was a children's book. There was 3 of them.
No, thank you. Oh gosh.
Well, do you mind if I show you the cover of one of them real quick?
I guess.
Oh man, like there were a bunch of parents that tried to make it so that the art style got changed of these.
I can see why, but why?
You're definitely going to be saying that with this one. Like this was the cover of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark 3.
Oh no! Why? No.
That's children's books.
That is really good artwork, though. Like, I will admit.
What's funny is that the guy who drew this stuff normally drew like very happy and colorful stuff for other children's books. So the fact... Whoops. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I accidentally exited out of Discord.
Oh, uh-oh.
There we go. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave the call, but just the thought that some guy who normally draws happy art drew this stuff, it's like, mad respect.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Nightmare Soup. They're on Facebook. Go check them out, guys. They make some awesome stuff.
Sweet.
Well, I mean, yeah, they do make awesome. Like you can buy. They just have volume 1 out right now,
Mm-hmm.
and you can buy their book. There's a link to their website, like right on Facebook, and they're releasing volume 2 soon.
Cool.
And the stories are very good. The illustrations are absolutely horrifying. Like, just think of this. Yeah, super good. And I'm reading that on Halloween with a few skits, and I'm going to try and make it as scary as possible.
Nice. Good stuff.
And that's what I'm doing all October.
Right on. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and as always, I think I already have you linked in the description, so I've already done that ahead of time. I like this whole live thing, because when we're done, it's just already up on YouTube. I like it. I like that a lot.
That is cool.
Yeah. But, that's going to do it for this edition of The LoDown, you guys. This has been Horror Games with IndieTimmie. Once again...
should I... sorry to interrupt you. Should I link the Nightmare Soup Facebook in here?
Yeah, do that, and I'll add that in the description. Yes.
Okay, let me do that real quick. Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, it's such a cute baby bunny. There's a baby bunny on my Facebook.
Nice.
Nightmare Soup. Yeah, anyone who's a fan of scary stories in the dark, they will love Nightmare Soup. All right, here you go. There you go. There's the link.
Sweet.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me on here. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I like this whole live format thing. It's a little more.
It's easier. It's more chill.
It's easier. It's more chill, and hopefully, if we can get people watching, they can start participating in the chat and asking questions and stuff. And who knows? Maybe we could even pull somebody in, just onto a call or whatever. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because I can see in the future being a guest on here more. I mean, again, not more.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one cool thing about games is that there's just so many different subjects we can discuss, and there's just so many little intricacies and whatnot. And
I mean, there's genres of game, there's subgenres of games.
There's like the horrible things of the gaming industry, like microtransactions and early access, all that.
Oh, NBA 2K18.
And I think the new Shadow of War has microtransactions too.
I really hope Shadow of War doesn't make it sound like you have to buy something to be able to make it easy. Well, I mean, Mutahar, for anyone who knows Mutahar, Some Ordinary Gamers, he was saying, basically, you can buy our game you can buy the microtransactions to skip a bunch of the game. So are you basically saying that your game is not worth playing?
Yeah, why would you want to skip parts of the game that you bought so you can play? That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all.
Just play. I'll probably be getting Shadow of War, but I'm definitely not buying microtransactions.
Yeah, it's just weird when they put microtransactions in a game that you buy.
It is.
Like whatever happened to just having a game just be done, complete, and then adding to it with like legit DLC that actually adds like chapters to the complete story, not like taking stuff out of the middle of it and then being
I mean, I guess you can argue that yes, game making has gotten a lot more expensive than it used to be, but
there's that.
I mean, still, I mean, I don't know. Microtransactions, just in my opinion, make microtransactions a thing, but don't make it to the point that we will need it.
Don't make it like absolutely necessary.
Yeah, make it so that like, oh, you can get this completely awesome sword that you'd normally have to work for, but you can get it right now. That, or you can just go over there and get it. You might die a lot, but you can still get it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
One game that I feel like did that really well was Warframe, because with like weapons and stuff in Warframe, you don't actually pick up the weapon. You actually, like, whenever, like, so there's different ways to get new weapons. You can either purchase the blueprint with platinum currency, or you can, actually no, you can just straight up purchase the weapon, I believe, with platinum. You can also purchase the blueprint with credits, or you can just get lucky and find it by RNG. But even if you do get the blueprint to the weapon, you have to go and find like these different parts of it. Like for example, if you find like a gun blueprint, you have to like get the receiver and then like the trigger assembly and like assemble all those individual parts, and then take those and then put them together, you know. And
so
then
basically you can.
Yeah, and then like the synthesizing crafting sort of system, it took time. Like I was actually just playing yesterday, and I was like, oh cool, I got this new gun, but it's like you gotta wait 12 hours for this thing to work. So it's like a little synthesizer thing. And, oh hey, GM's in the chat. Hey GM3, man, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Super late.
I know, right? We're actually just wrapping up, but yeah, so who knows? Maybe we can just talk about that next time. I know we were talking about doing roguelike games and stuff too, so just endless topics. So
yeah, roguelike. One thing, there is a genre I would love to talk about sometime. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and now it's gone.
You'll probably remember as soon as we stop streaming.
Probably. I mean, I do want to talk about Nintendo. Oh yeah, one thing I would love to talk about is brutality in gaming.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I love Manhunt.
I remember that game.
People have considered it too brutal to want to make anymore, so I would love to talk about brutality in gaming.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Endless subjects. Endless subjects.
We went to endless subjects on this podcast.
Yes, yeah, we did. We got sidetracked quite a few times. I think we broke our record.
I mean, we went to Dark Souls, and then we went to Naruto.
How did we get on Naruto? That's what I don't remember that, making that, like, it was like, it just, I don't know, we just like switched like rails or something. Someone just like hit the switch and it's like, okay, the train's going this way now.
Yeah, somehow, I can't remember how we got into English.
We were talking about voice acting or dubs or something like that, and then I think that's when we got on the subject of Naruto, and then filler. I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to listen back.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of the LoDown, the live edition. So once again, IndieTimmie, thanks for joining me, bud.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll be doing more of this because I like doing it. So there.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, tons of fun.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm getting sleepy too. I need to take a nap or something.
I still need to record Breath of the Wild.
Oh geez. Okay. Well, I'll let you get to that. And in the meantime, everybody, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Do something heroic today, and demand something better in gaming. Always. This is IndieTimmie and NeroTheHerome signing out. Oh,
stay nerdy.
Way, yeah, stay nerdy. See you later, everybody.
Bye.